So regardless of what your writing assignment is, the following steps to writing a thesis statement will apply in one way or another to pretty much every one that you write. These steps also pretty much align with the writing process in general, so please bear with me through this longer video because this is information that you'll use time and time again. I've also had a few of you ask about how to do organized writing or how to come up with logical flow in your writing, and these steps will help you do that, so stay tuned. So the first thing to keep in mind when you are writing a thesis statement is that it's completely essential to understand the prompt. I know this sounds a little bit funny for an important first step, but I can't emphasize enough how vital this actually is. You could write a brilliant paper, but if it's on the wrong topic or it's in the wrong genre, it's the wrong kind of writing, all your hard work will be for nothing. This actually happens pretty often, so you want to be careful of that. In addition to reviewing the writing prompt in your syllabus, you'll want to make sure that you understand really fully what kind of question you're being asked. So is this research writing? Is this exegetical writing? Is this autobiographical reflective writing? Once you've got those details pinned down, you're ready to move on to the next step. And that is coming up with a hypothetical thesis statement. So what is your initial reaction to this prompt? You might actually already have a hypothetical thesis statement about that topic. Check your notes from class and the annotations that you've been making and the books that you've been reading to see what those initial reactions are. Sometimes those unfiltered thoughts turn into a really great argument, especially if you already have a strong opinion about a topic. So all you need to do is take those notes, take those initial reactions, and then turn them into a complete sentence, and that's a hypothetical thesis statement. From there, you're ready to collect and organize your research. This is where you're finding out what the research has to say about that hypothetical thesis statement that you came up with. This is the fun part. You jump in and gather all the stuff that you can find about that hypothetical thesis statement. Start with your required reading and course content and branch out from there. Think about contacting the research librarians here at the library to help you find the most relevant and the most recent research. Especially if you're an online student, you have a wealth of digital resources available to you, and the research librarians are there to help you find it. So before, after, and during the research process, it's totally okay to refine your hypothetical thesis statement. So this is the part of the process where we're putting together what the research and our gut suggests about our hypothetical thesis statement. If you don't find any reputable sources that will either support or help you explain your thesis, that's a sign during the research process to reconsider your argument. On the other hand, if all of your research seems to say the same thing as your hypothetical thesis statement, you might find that you have a hard time with coming up with something new to say. So this is where you want to tweak the structure of your hypothetical thesis statement so that you do have something new to express. Next, you'll want to write several different versions of that hypothetical thesis statement. Which one do you find is the strongest and the clearest? Consider rephrasing the research question that you came up with or that you were assigned in your thesis statement, or use language from the prompt to help get you started. After that, you're going to outline the form of your paper based on the structure and content of that fully formed thesis statement. This is the hard part. This is where you need to determine which points you want to keep in order to support or demonstrate your thesis. So keep in mind that you don't need to, and you actually shouldn't include absolutely everything that's related to your thesis for the outline of your paper. You will leave some research behind. Only include the stuff that's necessary for demonstrating your point. If you have an awesome source or a point that doesn't quite hit the target of your thesis, just save it for another project. Don't let yourself get distracted. That's the whole point of a thesis statement, to keep you and your reader on task. So from here, before, after, and during the outlining and the writing process, you want to review the language of your thesis and refine it if it's necessary. If you finish your paper, finish all of your writing, to realize that you've used slightly different language in the body of your paper than you used in your thesis, just edit your thesis to match your paper. Remember that you want your thesis statement to be kind of a one-sentence version of your entire paper. So having consistency in your language is really important. So those steps are more or less the process of writing a thesis statement. This will start to become more fully formed as we move forward in the rest of boot camp. So hold tight if you feel like it's not quite coming together yet.